Good morning and welcome to your warm-up. We're going to start with our body just standing, and feet are going to be about shoulder width apart, particularly the heels. Your toes are going to be slightly turned out. And we're just going to begin arms at rest by our side. And I'm going to drop my head to my chest. I'm going to start just by feeling the stretch here in the back of the neck. Nice inhalation through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. We're going to gently roll the head around to the right. Imagine that what you're actually rotating is your neck spine, and your head is just hanging loose at the end. Keep breathing, and one more full rotation. And reverse direction. Allow your jaw to hang open when you reach that back position. And your mouth will close when you come to the down position. One more rotation. Keep breathing. And we'll stop here with the chin down. Again, really feel that stretch. Allow the shoulders to be nice and soft. Feel as much stretch here as you can. And we're going to inhale through the nose and bring the head up to our neutral position. And let the shoulders relax. Now I'm going to keep my eyes open, but I'm going to let my gaze rest on a fixed point, which would be above the horizon. So if you like, it could be a place where the ceiling and the wall meet, but let's keep your eyes open and lifted. And from now on, every breath is going to be an inhalation through the nose and an exhalation through the mouth. And every movement will occur on the inhalation. So first, we're going to bring our eyes up, and we're going to inhale as we open our arms. We're reaching toward opposite walls from us, so we'll be in kind of a perpendicular to, arms will be perpendicular to the body. So here we are, breathing in. Palms up, hold that for a moment. Exhale. Inhale and bring the arms up toward the ceiling. Head will come up to gaze at the ceiling. Fingers are extended toward the ceiling. Feel the stretch here. Exhale. Bring the palms together and down in front of your face. Inhale. Exhale. Eyes again are above the horizon. We'll do that cycle 2 more times. Here we go. Inhale, reaching to the sides. Exhale. Inhale to the sky. Exhale. Inhale to the prayer position. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Out. Inhale up. Exhale. In. Exhale. We want to try to get into a rhythm where we're not really holding the breath between that inhale and the exhale. We want to keep that as cyclical as possible. So just keep that flow going. All right, we've landed here in the prayer position, and now we're going to bring, kind of bow our head toward the chest, toward our hands, and we're going to allow the head to become very heavy, and the weight of the head is going to start to take us down to the floor. We're dropping vertebra by vertebra down into a drop down position. So I'm extending here until I feel that I've reached a comfortable stretch. Knees will be slightly bent here. As I'm hanging here, I really want to check in with my shoulders. I'm going to give them a wiggle. There should be residual movement when I stop that intentional wiggle. So I'm going to wiggle, and they still kind of keep going. That tells me that the tension is released. If I lift my head and then let it drop, there should be residual movement. That tells me that I've released my neck tension. So check out your neck and your shoulders from here, okay? And let's inhale through the nose. Exhale. And on this next breath, when you exhale, we're looking to see how much more you can release from your hips. We're hanging from the pelvis here. Here we go, in through the nose. And drop as much as you can. Checking the shoulders and the neck. I'm going to open up my feet position a little bit here, open up my stance just a tiny bit. Grab your right ankle with your right hand. Grab your right wrist with your left hand. And then you're going to lean your left hip away just slightly. And feel this stretch from the left hip, kind of up through the rib cage and toward that left shoulder. And let's breathe in through the nose into that stretch as if that air is going all the way down into the left hip. Here we go, in through the nose. And out. One more here. Out. Come back to center. Grab your left ankle with your left hand. Grab your left wrist with your right hand. Lean your right hip away a little bit. And we're going to breathe into this stretch, feeling the breath really drop all the way down into that right hip socket. Here we go, in through the nose. And out. In. And out. Back to center. And just hang for a moment. Okay. And now as we inhale, we're going to build back up to a standing position, building one vertebra at a time. Here we go with that inhalation, and in through the nose. Exhale. Shoulders are hanging nice and soft here, belly is soft. Let's go through one more of our arm phase movement. In through the nose, out toward the walls. Palms up, exhale. Up to the sky, inhale. Exhale. Prayer position, inhale. Exhale. Going again into a drop down. Here we go, dropping the head toward the hands, and let the head and the weight of the head take you down vertebra by vertebra down to the drop down. Eventually let your hands drop. When you reach the bottom, give your shoulders a wiggle, give your head a bounce. I'm going to make sure that we're free. Okay. I'm going to shift my position just slightly, but from where you are, you're going to widen your toes. So you're just going to kind of like fan your toes so that you're opening up kind of in a 45-degree angle. Your heels will stay basically underneath your shoulders. So I'm in this place now. And now that we've got our stances opened up a little more, I can drop down slowly using my hands to brace me into a deep drop down here. And I'll kind of let my head rest on my hands. My elbows are keeping my knees apart, providing a little bit of a stretch here. What we're looking for here in this deep drop down is we're looking for the breath to fill the pelvic bowl. So what that may feel like is a couple of things. It may feel like you can imagine that your pelvis is actually a balloon, and that when you breathe, that balloon is inflating. So let's try that. In through the nose, out through the mouth, inflating that pelvic balloon. Here we go. One more. We're looking to make sure that those pelvic floor muscles are nice and soft and released so that the breath can drop all the way down. Okay, the other image that might be helpful for you is to imagine that the pelvic bowl is a bowl, and that with each breath, it's like a waterfall that is spilling into the bowl and filling it up. So let's take 2 breaths, imagining the waterfall of breath filling the pelvic bowl. Here we go. And one more. And hopefully here you can actually feel a slight expansion between your sits bones, or maybe that sensation that your pelvis is just gently expanding ever so slightly. Okay, from here I'm going to put my hands behind me. I'm going to sit. I'm going to extend my legs, and we're going to do some floor work. So the first thing, I'll lay all the way back. I'm going to bring my knees up to my chest, and I'm going to hug my knees and feel that stretch in my back. I'll let my shoulders be soft and loose. From this position here, I'm going to breathe into my tailbone again. So in this position, I like to think about my entire spine as one of those long balloons that you make balloon animals out of. And when I inhale, I'm inflating that entire balloon all the way down to my tailbone. Okay, so you can imagine the breath traveling the spine all the way to the tailbone. 3 breaths here, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Here we go. In, out, shoulders soft, in, out. One more, in, out. Again, looking for expansion in your sits bones and the pelvis. From here, I'm going to let my knees drop gently to my left side. I'm going to open my arms up back to that perpendicular position, each arm reaching toward the opposite wall. I'm going to let my head drop to the right. So now we've landed in a diagonal stretch. And when I inhale here, I'm going to imagine that breath traveling down to my right hip socket. And it's traveling up the wide river channel and exiting right here, kind of out of the left side of my neck. So each inhalation, I want to sense an expansion in my right hip. Here we go. In through the nose and out. In, out, in, out. Very good. Going to bring the knees back up over the center of the body. And from here, we're just gonna be in kind of this open baby position. Knees are over the chest, but your feet are hanging light. They're just dangling there. Really not having to engage a whole lot of muscle action to maintain this position. And from here, we're just going to take a nice breath in, feeling the expansion all the way to the pelvic floor. Everything is soft. Here we go. In through the nose and out. Okay. Now we're going to let our knees drop to the right side. Our arms are still perpendicular. Head is going to drop to the left. And now I'm in the opposite diagonal stretch. And from here, we'll take 3 breaths, really feeling that expansion into the left hip socket, with the breath traveling up the wide river channel and exiting out of the right side of the neck here. Here we go. In, out. Last one, everything soft. And now we're going to bring the rest of the body over to the right side so that we are in a fetal position on the right. And from this fetal position, we really have a sense of the spine here as well. So I'm going to imagine that my breath once again is traveling my spine from my skull, from my brain all the way down to my tailbone. So let's follow that breath traveling that spinal column river. Here we go. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Now this is called book halves. We're going to explore some body half composition. So we're going to open up the left leg and the left arm like a book. Opening like a book to a center position. And then we're going to close the book with the right half of the body. Okay? Let's do that 2 more times. And as we open the book, we're inhaling. Here we go. In through the nose and open. Exhale. Inhale and close. Exhale. One more time to return to the other side. Inhale and open. Inhale and close. Okay. From the fetal position here, we're going to make our way to all fours. For you, that just means putting your hands underneath you and slipping your knees back to your mat. I'm going to come the other way so that I can reverse and be facing the camera. All right, once we're on all fours, we're going to sit back onto our feet. Take your sits bones all the way back. Take the head down, the arms are out. We're in child's pose here. And again, the inhalation, we're going to feel that breath inflate the pelvis. Here we go. 3 breaths here. In. Out. Everything soft. Out. Inflate the pelvis. Out. Come back up to your hands and knees. And now we'll move from cat to cow. And so we inhale on the cat pose. So what happens with cat pose is my tailbone leads the way. My tailbone leads this movement. As my tail tucks, you'll notice that the rest of the spine curves upward toward the ceiling and the head rounds down. This is cat pose and we inhale here. So inhaling on that motion. And when we exhale, the tailbone starts to curve toward the ceiling. Tailbone goes toward the ceiling. The spine arches toward the floor and the head comes up. And then we exhale here. So I inhale back into cat, tucking the tailbone first. Exhale into cow, tailbone first. Okay. Now that you got the rhythm, let's go 3 times here. So cat 1. Out. 2. Out. Always leading with the tail. In. Out. Okay. And relax back into cat. You're going to walk, kind of take your toes out. I'm going to make some space again for this walk, for this deep squat. So toes are maybe off the mat. You'll walk your hands back. That will help to lift you back onto your feet into this deep squat again. Here we are. I'm going to take a couple of deep breaths here to fill the pelvic bowl. on this next inhalation, I'm going to drop my head and I'm going to let my tailbone rise toward the sky. This is going to take me toward a drop down position. So here we go. Tailbone's going to float and I'm going to inhale through that. Exhale into the drop down. Shake out your shoulders, bobble your head, check for freedom. Give it a wiggle. All right. The next inhalation is going to take us to standing. We'll tuck the tailbone and we'll build the spine vertebra by vertebra. Here we go. And tuck and inhale. And exhale into standing. And take that out to a wide arm position. Inhale. Inhale to the sky. Inhale to prayer pose. And let it all go. Shake your body out. And notice how you feel right now. Notice how loose you feel. Notice if you feel taller. Notice that your body feels open and expanded. You should be ready to go right into your workout or whatever comes next in your day.